Is the United States losing the most important technological race of our lifetime to a loophole that has been hiding in plain sight? For years, the government has been playing a high-stakes game of cat and mouse to keep advanced AI chips out of the hands of global adversaries, but a massive gap in these restrictions has finally been exposed. Before we continue, if you want to stay on top of everything happening in US politics, hit that subscribe button right now and leave a like. It really helps this channel grow and ensures you don't miss these critical updates as they happen. The Trump administration is now taking decisive action to plug a critical hole in existing export controls. For those who aren't familiar with how these rules have functioned, the Commerce Department had previously established strict licensing requirements for shipping high-end artificial intelligence hardware to China and other restricted nations. However, tech-savvy firms found a workaround. If the company buying the chips had a Chinese parent company but was incorporated in a friendly nation, the hardware could, in many cases, flow freely. It was a classic case of the letter of the law being used to subvert the spirit of the law. Now, the Commerce Department is changing the rules of the game. On Sunday, they issued new guidance clarifying that a government license is mandatory for any sale of advanced AI chips to firms with Chinese parent companies, regardless of where that specific subsidiary is physically located. It doesn't matter if they are in a neutral country or a Western ally. If the ultimate control lies with a restricted entity, the US government is asserting its right to step in and block the sale. This is not just a minor clerical update, it is a major policy shift that places the burden of proof squarely on the shoulders of the sellers. But what does this actually mean for the global market? First and foremost, it creates a massive compliance headache for major chip manufacturers like Nvidia and AMD. These companies have spent billions building global supply chains that were designed to operate across borders. Now, they are being told that they need to conduct deep dive audits into the ultimate ownership structures of every single customer they deal with. If you are a subsidiary in a third-party country, you are no longer a neutral buyer in the eyes of Washington. The political implications here are just as significant as the economic ones. By extending these rules beyond the geographic borders of China, the US is essentially saying that it is prepared to exert extraterritorial authority to maintain its lead in the AI revolution. Critics might argue that this overreach could alienate trade partners or lead to a global fragmentation of the tech industry, often referred to as decoupling. Supporters, however, see it as an essential evolution of national security. They argue that if AI is the engine of future military superiority and economic dominance, then every single chip capable of powering that engine must be guarded as if it were a weapon of war. The potential outcomes are twofold. On one hand, we could see a rapid tightening of the AI supply chain, which would theoretically slow down the progress of rival powers in developing autonomous systems and advanced machine learning capabilities. On the other hand, this move might accelerate the push for China to develop its own independent, domestic semiconductor industry. By cutting off access to the best hardware, the US might be forcing their hand to achieve self-sufficiency faster than anyone expected. We are living through a pivotal moment where the line between economic policy and national defense has completely vanished. The White House is signaling that there will be no more easy outs for companies that prioritize profit over national interests. But this strategy is a double-edged sword, and the long-term impact on global innovation remains an open question. So what do you think about this? Do you believe the government is doing enough to protect our technological edge? Or is this move going to cause more harm than good to the American tech sector? Drop your opinion in the comments below. I read every single one. This is a fast-moving situation, and we are going to continue to track how these new licensing requirements affect the broader landscape of US-China relations. Make sure you stay tuned, stay informed, and most importantly, stay vigilant. Thanks for watching.